Welcome to Love Lies Chronicles.
The laptop died at 11:47 p.m. Mine, not hers. Right in the middle of reviewing quarterly projections that were due the next morning. I cursed under my breath, staring at the black screen like it might resurrect itself through sheer force of will. My wife was already asleep upstairs. Her laptop sat on the kitchen counter where she'd left it after her nightly ritual of wine and social media. I grabbed it, logged into the cloud storage, and that's when everything changed. The browser auto-filled her email instead of my storage link. I was about to close it when the draft folder count caught my eye. 37 drafts. Who keeps 37 email drafts? Curiosity overrode courtesy. I clicked. The subject line punched me in the chest. Why I need to leave. Addressed to her sister. Dated 2 weeks ago. Last revised yesterday. 10 numbered reasons. 10 meticulously crafted excuses explaining why our 8-year marriage had reached its expiration date. I read them once, then again, then a third time, each word carving deeper. He's become too comfortable and complacent. We don't have exciting conversations anymore. He prioritizes work over our relationship. I feel like a roommate, not a wife. He doesn't pursue me like he used to. We're on different life trajectories now. I've outgrown who I was when we met. The spark is gone and I don't think it's coming back. I deserve to feel desired, not just appreciated. I need to find myself before it's too late. Below the list, a note to her sister. Does this sound reasonable? I want to make sure I can explain it clearly when the time comes. When the time comes. Not if. When. I scrolled through her sent folder. Replies from her sister over the past month, each one more encouraging than the last. You deserve happiness. Life is too short. You've given him enough chances. Her sister, recently divorced and apparently recruiting allies to normalize her choices. My hands were steady as I screenshot everything on my phone. My breathing was even as I closed the laptop and returned it to the counter. But inside, something fundamental shifted. This wasn't shock. It was clarity. For 3 hours after reading that email, I believed every single excuse. Comfortable, complacent, boring, insufficient. I mentally cataloged all the ways I'd failed to be exciting enough, romantic enough, present enough. Then, around 3 a.m., something cold and calculated settled over me. She wanted excuses to leave. 10 carefully constructed justifications for abandoning our life together. She was rehearsing this conversation with her sister, refining her reasons, preparing her defense. The trial was already over in her mind. I just hadn't been informed of the verdict yet. I wouldn't fight it. I wouldn't argue with her list or beg her to reconsider. That's what desperate men do. That's what she expected me to do, which would only validate her narrative about me being clingy and holding her back. Instead, I would offer her something she didn't expect. Permission, freedom, complete agreement. But not the kind she imagined. Freedom comes when you stop chasing someone who doesn't want you. I would stop chasing. Immediately. Completely. And in doing so, I would show her exactly what losing me meant. The next morning, I woke at 5 a.m. for the first time in years. Hit the gym in our building before she stirred. Showered, dressed in my best suit. Left for work without the usual goodbye kiss or morning coffee routine we'd maintained for nearly a decade. My phone buzzed around 8:30. You left without saying goodbye. Early meeting. Have a good day. No emoji. No love you. Just functional communication between two people sharing space. Over the next 3 days, I observed without revealing my knowledge. She checked her phone constantly, smiling at texts. The glow of secrecy. She mentioned a girls' weekend planned in 3 weeks. I said that sounded nice and asked no follow-up questions. The confusion on her face was immediate. I found the Airbnb booking in her browser history. A solo mountain cabin. Not a girls' weekend. A solo retreat to find herself. The apartment search history told a clearer story. Studio apartments downtown, all 1 bedroom, all within her solo budget range. The credit card statement revealed recent purchases. Expensive lingerie I'd never seen. New perfume I'd never smelled. A consultation fee paid to Morrison and Partners. Divorce attorneys. The best in the state. She was building an exit while I was building our future. Amateur strategy from someone who thought I wasn't paying attention. But I was done paying attention to her. It was time to pay attention to myself. Monday morning, I joined an elite gym downtown. Not our usual couples gym where we took weekend yoga classes together. A serious training facility where people went to transform, not socialize. I hired a personal trainer. Her name was irrelevant. Her credentials were impressive. Sessions booked at 6 a.m. and 7 p.m., removing me from home during critical hours. I volunteered for the leadership role I'd been avoiding, the one requiring travel and client dinners and visible success. My boss was surprised by my sudden initiative. "Never seen you this assertive," he said. He didn't know I was rebuilding my life from the foundation up. At home, I maintained perfect politeness. I answered her questions with brief, cordial responses that offered no emotional foothold. When she cooked dinner, I thanked her and ate quickly, then retreated to handle work. When she asked if everything was okay, I responded with genuine-sounding confusion. Why wouldn't it be? Each non-reaction destabilized her more than anger would have. Week 2 brought social expansion. I accepted an invitation to colleagues' happy hour, something I'd declined for months because she always wanted me home. I posted a rare photo on social media. Professional-looking people in business casual, drinks in hand, laughing at some shared joke. She was waiting when I got home at 10 p.m. Arms crossed. Wine glass empty. "You went out." "I did." "You didn't tell me." I didn't realize I needed permission. I loosened my tie, moved past her toward the stairs. "Who's the blonde woman in the photo?" I stopped, turned slowly. "Jennifer from marketing. She's very pretty." "Is she?" I hadn't noticed. I paused. "Her husband Tom thinks so. He's the guy on her left." Her face flushed. "You could have invited me." "Could I? When was the last time you wanted to meet my colleagues?" Silence. That's what I thought. I continued upstairs, leaving her standing in the hallway. Through the bedroom door, I heard her furiously typing on her phone, probably to her sister. Let them talk. Words were becoming meaningless. Thursday, I announced travel to our regional office. Leaving Thursday morning, back Saturday afternoon. Silence. Then, "That's our anniversary weekend." I paused as if calculating. "Is it? Let me see if they can reschedule." I checked my phone, shook my head. "Critical client presentation Friday. I don't think I can move it." I didn't try very hard. That weekend, she called 6 times. I answered twice. Once while at dinner with colleagues, where female laughter happened to be audible in the background. Pure coincidence. Perfect timing. Sunday evening, I returned to find the house spotless and her wearing my favorite dress. Candles lit. Jazz playing softly. Her hair styled the way I'd once told her I loved. "I thought we could talk about us," she said. Wine already poured. 2 glasses. I walked past the wine, poured myself water instead. Sat across from her, not beside. "Talk about what?" Her smile faltered. "About us. You've been distant. Different." "Different how?" "You're never here anymore. You're always at the gym or working or traveling. It's like you don't need me." I took a slow sip of water. Let the silence stretch. "Is that what bothers you? That I don't need you?" "It's not about needing." "Then what is it about?" I leaned forward. "Because from where I'm sitting, I'm finally prioritizing myself. Taking care of my health. Advancing my career. Building something. Isn't that what you wanted?" "I wanted us to do it together." "Did you?" I held her gaze. "Or did you want me to stay exactly where I was while you figured out your next move?" She blinked, confusion crossing her face. "What does that mean?" "Nothing. Forget it." I stood up. "Thanks for making dinner." I ate at the office. "You ate already?" I did. I headed toward the stairs. "I have an early training session. Going to bed." "It's 8:30. "Yes, it is." I paused at the threshold. "The candles are a nice touch, though. Very romantic." The irony in my voice was unmistakable. I didn't wait for her response. Week 3, I made the financial moves she'd already started. Opened an individual checking account. Routed my paycheck there. Met with a financial advisor to understand asset division. Consolidated all important documents. Transferred my inheritance to a separate account. I consulted with Reynolds and Associates, divorce attorneys with a reputation for aggressive representation. They walked me through scenarios. With my increased earning power and her lack of financial discipline, I was in the driver's seat. "Don't let her convince you otherwise," the attorney said. I filed nothing, but I prepared everything. The wardrobe upgrade came next. I hired a style consultant who replaced my outdated closet with modern, fitted clothes. New haircut at an upscale barbershop. Quality watch. Leather messenger bag. Better shoes. She noticed immediately. "You look really good. What's the occasion?" "No occasion. Just felt like investing in myself." The recalculation happening behind her eyes was visible. Then I mentioned selling the house. Casually. Over breakfast on a Wednesday. I've been thinking we should sell. She looked up from her coffee, eyes wide. Sell what? The house. Equity has peaked. Market's favorable for sellers. Makes sense to liquidate and optimize our position. Her cup trembled slightly. This is our home. It's an asset. A significant one. We should make strategic decisions about assets, not emotional ones. Strategic decisions? Her voice rose. We picked out every piece of furniture together. I spent 3 years renovating this place. And it increased the value substantially. You did excellent work. That's precisely why we should sell now, at peak value. You're talking about our home like it's a stock portfolio, isn't it? I met her eyes calmly. For bedrooms we don't use. Massive yard we pay someone else to maintain. Property taxes that keep climbing. From a pure ROI perspective, we're house poor. From a pure. She stopped, stared at me like I was a stranger. What happened to you? I grew up. Started thinking practically instead of sentimentally. I finished my coffee, rinsed the cup. We don't need to decide today. Just something to consider. I grabbed my keys and gym bag. She remained frozen at the table. Where are you going? Gym. Then office. Might be late tonight. Don't wait up. You're always late now. Am I? I paused at the door. Funny. I don't remember you tracking my schedule before. What changed? I left before she could answer. Through the window, I saw her bury her face in her hands. By week 4, the transformation was undeniable. 20 pounds lost, replaced with visible muscle. New wardrobe that fit a new frame. Professional success that colleagues commented on publicly. Social media presence showing someone engaged with life. Her friends started asking questions. Your husband looks amazing. What's he been doing? Her sister called. He looks completely different. Are you sure about this? The narrative she'd constructed was being challenged by outside perspectives. Her reconnection attempts escalated. Couples massage suggested. Too busy. Romantic dinner planned. Prior commitment. Physical intimacy initiated. Exhausted from training. Surprise weekend getaway booked. Can't abandon project deadlines. Each polite rejection was devastating precisely because it was polite. She found my gym bag in the car. Inside, protein shakes and my trainer's business card. Handwritten note. Great session. You're crushing these goals. I came home to find her holding the card, standing in the kitchen. Who is Rebecca? I set down my briefcase, loosened my tie. My trainer. Your trainer. She turned the card over, studying it like evidence. She writes you notes. Encouragement. It's part of her service. She's very attractive. I looked her up online. Is she? I opened the fridge, grabbed a protein shake. I hired her for her credentials, not her appearance. Her Instagram is full of photos of her with male clients. Very close photos. I took a long drink, set the bottle down deliberately. Are you accusing me of something? No. I don't like it. You don't like what? That I'm working with a professional to improve my health. I don't like that she's beautiful and she's touching you and writing you flirty notes. Flirty notes. I picked up the card again, read it aloud. Great session. You're crushing these goals. That's what counts as flirty? Her face reddened. It's the exclamation points. The exclamation points. I almost smiled. Almost. You know what's interesting? 6 months ago, I was too comfortable. Too complacent. Not ambitious enough. Now I'm working with a trainer to improve myself, and suddenly you have opinions about her punctuation. That's not fair, isn't it? I moved closer. Tell me something. When did you become interested in my fitness journey? Because I don't remember you caring when I suggested we work out together last year. You said you were too busy. That was different. How? She had no answer. Rebecca is my trainer. That's all. If you have a problem with that, it says more about your insecurity than my behavior. I picked up my gym bag. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to shower. I left her standing there, card still in her hand. Her sister visited, expecting to reinforce the exit strategy. Instead, she found my wife anxious and uncertain, talking about my transformation. The sister saw me, barely recognized me. Later told my wife, maybe you should reconsider. My wife finished the thought. He's becoming everything I wanted. Without me. Week 5 brought promotion news. I got the call Thursday afternoon. Vice President of Strategic Development. 40% raise. Corner office. I called my parents first. Then my best friend. then posted a brief announcement on LinkedIn. I told her over dinner. Friday night, after she'd spent 20 minutes talking about her day at the yoga studio. I got promoted. She looked up from her pasta. What? Promotion. VP of Strategic Development. They announced it today. Her face lit up. That's amazing. Why didn't you tell me right away? I just did. I mean, when you got home. You were in the shower. I took another bite. And I had some calls to make. Calls to who? Family. Friends. People who've been supporting my career development. The implication hung between us. She wasn't on that list. We should celebrate. She reached across the table for my hand. Let's go out this weekend. That place you love downtown. My treat. Can't. I'm traveling. Traveling where? Chicago. Client meetings, all weekend. But she stopped herself. What? Nothing. No, say it. She hesitated. It's just, you're never here anymore. Every weekend, you're somewhere else. That's what VP level work requires. Travel, client dinners, networking. I stood, began clearing my plate. The promotion comes with responsibilities. Don't I get a say in this? I turned, met her eyes directly. A say in my career advancement? No, you don't. I'm your wife. Are you? The words came out sharper than intended. Because wives usually celebrate their husband's success. They don't interrogate them about it. I'm trying to celebrate. You won't let me. I already celebrated. With the people who've been invested in this outcome. I rinsed my plate. You can celebrate however you want. I'll be in Chicago. She stood abruptly. Did I do something wrong? Because you're treating me like a stranger. I'm treating you exactly how you've treated me. With polite distance and separate plans. That's not true, isn't it? I leaned against the counter. When was the last time you asked about my work? Not out of obligation, but genuine interest? Silence. When was the last time you prioritized something I wanted to do? More silence. That's what I thought. I headed upstairs. I'm packing for Chicago. Congratulations on the yoga membership, by the way. I know how important that studio is to you. The irony was deliberate. The message was clear. I casually mentioned considering investment property. Good to diversify. Build separate equity streams. Are you planning for us or for you? Does it matter? Good investments benefit whoever holds them. 6 weeks after reading her email, I planned a weekend trip to visit a college friend. Friday through Sunday. Booked the flight Tuesday. She found out Wednesday when she checked our shared calendar. You're going to Boston? Yeah. Jake invited me. Haven't seen him in 3 years. This weekend. That's when he's free. She followed me into the bedroom where I was sorting laundry. Why can't I come? Jake and I are doing guy stuff. Breweries. Basketball game. You'd be bored. I wouldn't be bored. I like Jake. You met him once. At our wedding. 5 years ago. So? I could get to know him better. I stopped folding, turned to face her. Do you hear yourself? What? You've never wanted to meet my friends. Every time I've suggested hanging out with my college buddies, you've had other plans. Now suddenly you want a weekend in Boston? Maybe I've changed. Have you? I studied her face. Or maybe you don't like that I'm making plans that don't include you. That's not. It is. I resumed folding. For years, you've had your girls' nights, your yoga retreats, your sister visits. I never questioned any of it. Now I take one weekend with an old friend and you're offended. I'm not offended. Then what are you? She struggled for words. I'm worried. About what? About us. About losing you. I set down the shirt I was folding. Interesting timing for that concern. What does that mean? It means you weren't worried about losing me when you were making other plans. But now that I'm making my own, suddenly it's a problem. Her eyes filled with tears. You've become so cold. Cold. I almost laughed. I'm exactly what you wanted. Independent. Ambitious. Exciting. I'm living my own life instead of waiting for you to include me in yours. That's not what I wanted. Then what did you want? I moved closer, voice even. Tell me, clearly, what exactly did you want from me? She opened her mouth, closed it. No answer came. That's what I thought. I zipped the suitcase. I'm leaving Friday at 6 a.m. I'll be back Sunday evening. Please don't go. Why not? Because I need you here. You need me? I picked up the suitcase. Funny. You didn't need me last weekend when you went to that yoga workshop, or the weekend before when you visited your sister. But now I take one trip and suddenly you need me. That's different. How? No response. I'm going. I headed for the door. Feel free to make your own plans. You're good at that. I left her standing in the bedroom. Through the mirror, I saw her collapse onto the bed, shoulders shaking. That night, I checked her email again. New draft to her sister. I think I've made a terrible mistake. He's completely changed, but not for me. He's becoming everything I wanted, but he's not fighting for us. What if I've pushed him away for good? The 10 reasons seem stupid now. The countdown was complete. Thursday evening, 6 weeks and 2 days after discovery, I returned from the gym and found her in the living room. Wine glass half empty, bottle on the table, anxiety radiating. We need to talk, she said. I agree. Let's talk. I sat across from her, not beside, distance maintained. I feel like I'm losing you. You've changed so much. I don't recognize us anymore. Tears forming. Are you having an affair? I'm not having an affair. You're right that I've changed. Would you like to know why? She nodded, relief visible. I opened my laptop, turned it to face her. Her email draft on screen. This is why? Color drained from her face. You read my private email? You wrote it on our shared laptop. But that's not the point. I paused. Let's address your 10 excuses. She tried to speak. I continued. Excuse 1. Too comfortable and complacent. You were right. I was. So I became uncomfortable. Started pushing myself. You're seeing the result. She tried to interrupt. I held up a hand. Excuse 2. No exciting conversations. We stopped having them because you stopped being interested in what I do. When did you last ask about my work? My goals? My dreams? You wanted excitement, but you stopped being excited about me. That's not. Excuse 3. Prioritizes work over relationship. I prioritized building our future. A future you were planning to exit. Who was really deprioritizing the relationship. Her face crumpled. I continued, unmoved. Excuse 4. Feel like a roommate. Roommates don't plan secret escapes. Roommates don't consult divorce attorneys. You felt like a roommate because you were acting like a tenant planning to break the lease. Please. Excuse 5. Doesn't pursue me. Pursuit implies the person being pursued wants to be caught. Did you? Because every sign suggested you were running toward the exit. I wasn't. Excuse 6. Different life trajectories. You're right. Mine is ascending. I'm building something. Where's yours headed? To a mountain cabin where you can find yourself? Tears streamed down her face now. I felt nothing. Excuse 7. Outgrown who I was. People grow. The question is whether they grow together or apart. You chose apart without giving together a real chance. I'm sorry. Excuse 8. Spark is gone. Spark is easy. It's novelty. The hard part is building something that lasts when the spark fades. You want it easy. Stop. Excuse 9. Deserve to feel desired. So do I. When did you last make me feel desired rather than tolerated? When did you last pursue me? Her hands covered her face. Excuse 10. Need to find yourself. You don't find yourself by running from commitment. You find yourself by honoring it. By pushing through the hard parts. By building instead of abandoning. I closed the laptop. Silence filled the room except for her sobbing. Your list reflects your own dissatisfaction with yourself, I concluded. Not with me. You projected your insecurities onto our marriage because it's easier than addressing your own shortcomings. She began crying. I was just venting to my sister. I never said I was definitely leaving. The Airbnb booking says otherwise. The divorce attorney consultation says otherwise. The apartment searches say otherwise. I produced printed evidence of each item. You were building an exit while I was building our future. I made a mistake, she stammered. I see that now. Watching you transform made me realize what I almost lost. I don't chase anymore. Not you. Not anyone. For 6 weeks, I've lived as if you'd already left. The freedom I claimed isn't something I'm willing to give back. I placed 2 documents on the table. Reconciliation agreement with terms. And separation agreement, attorney reviewed. You have 72 hours to decide. Her eyes widened. Option 1. We rebuild on completely new terms. Complete transparency. Couples therapy, non-negotiable. Limited contact with your sister. Individual therapy for you. My independence continues. No more venting to outsiders before discussing with me. Annual relationship health reviews. Option 2. We separate amicably. You get the freedom you were planning. What you don't get is the old version of me. That man is gone. I stood, buttoning my jacket. I'm staying at a hotel for 3 days. When I return, I expect a decision. Whichever you choose, I'll be fine. I gathered an overnight bag. She followed me to the door. Where are you going? Exactly where I need to be. With or without you. I didn't look back. The hotel offered clean lines and no history. For 72 hours, I maintained complete silence. No calls. No texts. Complete disconnection. I worked out, worked on projects, met with friends. Journaled about the difference between needing someone and choosing them. I was genuinely at peace with either outcome. I was already free. Day 3, 6 p.m., I returned home exactly 72 hours later. She was waiting. The reconciliation agreement sat on the table. Signed. Her sister's business card torn in half beside it. I choose to stay, she said. But more importantly, I choose to deserve staying. I've scheduled therapy for myself and for us. I've limited contact with my sister. I deleted that email. And I'm deleting the person who wrote it. I read the signed agreement carefully. This isn't going to be easy. The old dynamic is dead. I know. I won't ask you to chase me. But I hope you'll choose me. If I earn it. Every day, I said. If you earn it. 6 months later, we sat at dinner, both reading separate books. Comfortable silence. She reached across the table, touched my hand. I looked up. She smiled. Thank you. For what? For not chasing me when I ran. For teaching me that love isn't pursuit. It's choice. I squeezed her hand. We both learned that lesson. The email sits in a safe deposit box now. Not as ammunition, but as reminder. 10 excuses that nearly destroyed us became the foundation for something stronger. She keeps a journal now. 10 entries titled, Why I Stay. Each corresponding to an old excuse. He's never comfortable. He challenges himself daily. Our conversations are deeper because we're both growing. He prioritizes our future, not just our feelings. The irony wasn't lost on either of us. I became everything she wanted by stopping trying to be it for her. I did it for myself. That's what made it real. Her 10 excuses freed me. My one truth saved us. Freedom comes when you stop chasing someone who doesn't want you. But here's what nobody tells you. When you stop chasing, you discover whether they ever truly wanted to be caught. My wife had 10 excuses to leave. I offered one truth. Not to win her back, but to free myself from the prison of being undervalued. She stayed not because I fought for her, but because I stopped fighting. She chose me not when I was pursuing her, but when I was pursuing myself. Sometimes the strongest act of love isn't holding on. It's being willing to let go. 10 excuses will always crumble against one solid truth. Excuses are built on fear, insecurity, and external pressure. Truth is built on self-respect, boundaries, and the courage to walk away from anything less than you deserve. The moment I claimed my freedom, she recognized what she was about to lose. Not a man chasing her validation. A man who had already validated himself. 10 excuses that nearly destroyed us. One truth that rebuilt everything. Because when you stop chasing and start choosing from a position of power, not desperation, you don't just find freedom. You find yourself. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you find that the person you were chasing is now running toward you.
Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.